Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Bollocks with me, Howard Smith, your host with the most bollocks. Although, no more than anybody else, but, you know, I like to call it Talking Bollocks because it's what I do. Welcome back to Talking Bollocks. I'm assuming that you have been here before. If not, well, you know, strap yourself in. It's not normal. I am your host. My name is Howard H. Smith. Does this here podcast. I sing in UK thrash band Acid Rain. I have been doing stand-up for over 20 years as the character Keith Platt, keithplatt.co.uk. Does anybody use websites anymore? I am also the host of the Motorcast podcast, the official Motorhead podcast. I'm also host of the football podcast, The Reducer, What I Do with Two of My Mates. You can find that somewhere too. So, guys, hello. It's nearly Christmas. Yeah, for those of you that celebrate it, it's happy holidays if you don't. But, you know, it's still a time of, it's a family time, a time of giving, a time of overeating, a time of reaching for the indigestion bottle or packet, whatever your favourite is, to just try and feel a little bit better. Now, I've got an apology before we go any further. I haven't got any, tons of stuff for you to listen to over Christmas, the usual Christmas specials. My mother has just had the all clear for cancer. Yay! That is basically what's been going on in the background recently. I've been staying with her, nursing her, and yeah, I've just basically really been pushed. So you're still going to get your podcasts, you're just not going to get, Christmas ones. But the main thing is, yes, Mum got the all clear for cancer. That is a massive fucking relief. So anywho, that's what's been going on in my life. But more importantly, and why you tune in, oh, there's one from the past, is what's been going on in the world of metal since last we spoke. Well, straight away, my thoughts are with Exploited frontman Watty, who collapsed on stage in Colombia with a suspected heart attack. I mean, the weird thing is, right, this is my relationship with Watty of the Exploited. He used to come to all of our gigs that we played in Edinburgh back in the day. We'd put him on the guest list and we'd never see him except when we were on stage. And he would sit at the back with a bunch of other punks, really enjoying it. I've never spoken to him. I've never met him. That's cool. I really liked that. So anyway, you could say I've got some skin in the game on this one, but you know what? When any singer of any band has a heart attack, never on stage or not, you're obviously going to wish them the best. So obviously, all the best to Watty from this incredibly important podcast, which is going to get reported everywhere in it. Howard H. Smith from Acid Rain (brackets UK thrash band) if you've never heard of them, sends best wishes to Watty. That could be a blabbermouth article. Now, some of you there will have noticed what the next story is going to be about, because I nearly slipped up there, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. I nearly called it Panamouth or something like that. But yeah, what I was doing was saying blabbermouth while looking at the word Pantera. And my favourite story about Pantera is, well, it's not even a story, but it's just posted on Blabbermouth way back in December the 2nd. And it says, watch Pantera soundcheck for first concert in over 20 years. Now, I have, coming back after 20 years, it's fucking amazing. Oh, we're going to get to see Pantera. Loads of fucking shit about whether they should be doing it or whether they, is it Pantera? Should they call it Pantera? Oh, fucking hell. But that's the story for me. First sound check. I mean, who doesn't want to be at that, eh? Fucking hell. That is Blabbermouth scraping a load of footage off YouTube and turning it into a fucking story. But, it's what they do. It's what they do. Next up, great quote. It's Dino again. Dino Carazares, his Fear Factory singer, is 36 years old and, inverted commas, basically unknown. Brilliant. It now seems that rather than Dino like touting February next year as this big exciting announcement, it's almost like he's really trying to lower expectations. Whether or not the idea originally was to just build towards February next year and it's a way of keeping them in the press and all the rest of it, I don't know. But one thing's for sure, and that is that this story has really sort of gone downhill now. So basically, your announcement in February is, yeah, we're going to announce somebody that none of you have heard of. So it will literally be like, pick a name of anybody, and that's who we're going to announce. It's basically not exciting. Brilliant. Just announced, Lamb of God and Creator announce support for 2023 European Tour, and it's our friends Municipal Waste. Awesome. Municipal Waste in kind of like arenas. That's going to be interesting. That is going to be very, very interesting. Although to be fair, maybe not arenas. Okay. That show in London is scheduled for Brixton Academy. Manchester. Yeah, so no, not arenas. Yeah, I suppose I've gone a bit early there, haven't I? Lamb of God and Creator. Yeah, it's not exactly a fucking great tour, don't get me wrong, and I'll be going to that. Although I have to say, in my early breakdown of albums of the year, I have found Lamb of God's album, a bit disappointing, if I'm honest. Yeah, Omens. It's just a bit fucking, just a bit kind of like, yeah, well, that's out. The new Lamb of God album's out, cool. Fair enough. Moving on. I don't know whether to do this or not. It's basically, it's the whole Metallica's enhanced experiences and ticket packages on M72 tour range from $400 to $7,000. Look, Metallica definitely know that they have a lot of fans at a lot of different earning rates. I mean, when you are a band the size of Metallica, it's not like, I see people going, oh, why can't they make it cheaper? Haven't they got enough money, etc. And yeah. I mean, because that's the thing, isn't it? That's always been a thing. It's not. It's just not. If you want to spend $4,398, right? This is what you get. You get a ticket for both shows in the same city of your environment, of your chosen environment. You get one backstage meet and greet. No, that's not both nights. That's just one night with two members of the band, which includes a photo taken by tour photographer and a group conversation with members of the band. Remember to complain if you don't like the conversation. That's not them, that's me. One production tour led by a Metallica crew member and an onstage group photo. Brilliant. A group photo, it doesn't say who with, and you're going to get shown around by a roadie who's basically going to go, this is the stage, that's the bass, blah, blah, but you'll be fascinated and blown away anyway. One ticket to the Snake Pit, an exclusive standing section located in the middle of the stage for both shows in the same city. Party with other Metallica fans on both nights. Don't you think it's a bit early doors to be going with one of your major benefits is getting pissed with other Metallica fans who were lucky enough to afford the same ticket you did? I mean, I don't see anybody getting excited about the thought of having beers with other Metallica fans. It's a Metallica gig. I would say that's potentially not a fucking exclusive, although it is if you go to the official Black Box pre-show lounge, which includes 3 complimentary beverages. And it's handily, as well as appetizers and bar snacks. So, this what we're looking at again, this Nothing Else Matters Snake Pit experience for nearly $4,500 is shaping up really well, isn't it? You also get 2 limited edition show-specific posters, cool, Autograph set list, cool. Commemorative city-specific concert ticket. I mean, really? You mean a concert ticket as we've always known them? Limited edition Metallica merchandise item. There's a lot, by the way, there's a lot of asterisks going on here. An MP3 download of both audio shows. Express lane at a designated merchandise stand. How cool is that? They are telling you that one of the benefits they're giving you is that you can give them your money even quicker. That's brilliant. That is actually there as a benefit. We're gonna give you a special express lane so you get a designated merchandise stand. Brilliant. Fucking hell. And finally, on-site perks such as priority check-in, dedicated support staff, and a fast lane track lane into the venue. The asterisks are band member participation will vary by show, and it's not announced prior to the event. Only one meet and greet per weekend package purchased. The 2 asterisks are only 1 backstage tour per weekend package purchased. And the 3 asterisks are per weekend package purchased. So that's it. That is the Nothing Else Matters experience. After that, you've then got the Moth into the Flame experience. I'm not going to do that. You've got the 1 enhanced experience. You've got the Frantic Early Entry GA package. You've got the Seek and Destroy Reserved package. And you've got the Lux Eterna Platform experience. Oh my God, that's $7,272. And basically it says here, the raised platform. Should we see what the raised platform is? 1 exclusive viewing platform for a group of up to 8 people with an unbeatable view of both shows in the same city. Platform beverage cooler stocked with complimentary beer and soft drinks. Awesome. We are going to get you so pissed you can fall off your platform. Access to the official Black Box pre-show. Basically everything else there. So, right, okay, are you interested? Not. I've rattled all that off. Didn't really expect to be doing all that. But, that's one of them things, bro. And finally, this is so talking bollocks. This is so me. I apologise in advance. Tommy Lee's Calabasas house burglarized. Okay, here is the news. Both sides of the Atlantic. This is for everybody listening. You may think I've lost the plot. I haven't. It's just something that I really, really just went off on a tangent. Okay? The word burglarized. Yeah, I got a bit of a problem with that. Got a bit of a problem with it. So I looked it up in the Oxford English Dictionary, which is the dictionary of choice. Okay, it is for the English language. And when you put the word burglarized into Oxford Dictionary, it says, and I quote, "We were unable to find anything about burglarized because it's not a word. To burglarize, not a word. Burglarized, not a word. Burglarizing, not a word. Burglarizes, not a word. You get burgled. You've been robbed. My house was burgled. Yeah, I was burgled, but I wasn't burglarized. No, that's a word that literally, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, does not exist. And this is the Oxford English Dictionary, which adds words every year. For instance, and word of the year this year, or phrase of the year, word of the year this year, goblin mode. Goblin mode. Okay, so it's pretty up to date. That's all I'm saying. So maybe burglarized is a load of fucking shit. All right? I know, the weirdest thing to get wound up by, and I'm not one of these fucking grammar Nazis, etc., but it just did my head in. It just did my absolute head in. God knows why. Anyway, that's enough of me. I'm fucking rambling. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the interview. Now, as I usually say and usually do, I had a great time doing this. There is no video. We did this on Skype as opposed to Zoom. So you can just sit back and relax. As I said, had a great time doing this. And the weird thing is, right, I had Tom on the Motorcast, which gets a mention early doors, and we had a right old chat on that, and he was great. He was just really open and really willing to talk about everything. And here we go back over the last few years because there's a lot to go back over. And without further ado, I introduce you to the German thrash legend, nay, just the thrash legend that is Tom Angelripper of Sodom. Hi, dude.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very well, mate. Very well. It's a little while since we spoke because we did the Motorcast, didn't we?
Yeah, at the time, but I have a lot of promo activities around the new stuff. All the time when the new album come out, I had a lot of interviews and promo activities. I like it.
I know what you mean. I really enjoy doing it as well. I mean, well, I do this when I'm not doing it, myself. I think it's fun. It's nice that that people are interested.
Yeah. Do you get the new album?
The label sent it to me this morning. So,
all right.
I've managed to get through it once. But one thing that struck me straight away was the production. You've really kept it like old school.
Oh yes. I think that was on a high professional studio because we have a small studio at our rehearsal room with digital recording, and yes, our drummer Tony, he's a producer and engineer, and I don't want to have a high polished production, I want to have it more old school, and we want to keep the spirit of the older songs,
Yeah.
And if you do a bigger production, it's not a new album, We want to keep the character of the older songs, And yes, I think we did it, The song is great, it sounds good, but it keeps the magic in it,
Yeah, sure. And of course, I mean, being a 5-piece now, it's that was a big change for you guys.
Oh yes. I think it's a big change. Also, when we're going to play it live, I remember when Bernemann was still in the band and Macca, I always talked to Bernemann to get a second guitarist in the band, but he was never really interested in, I think he never accepted a second X-Man by his side, And then when I split up with Bernemann and Macca, the door were open for me, And yes, now it's Frank Blackfire on the guitars and the younger guitarist York,
Yeah.
It's a better sound, Even if you have a live set, our live engineer always told me you get a better stereo sound on the PA, And also, if you do the songwriting process, it helps, because you get more ideas from guitar players in it,
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to see on Genesis 19, the latest studio album. And there were typical Frank Blackfire songs on it, and also York is a metalhead, he's a bit 30, and he's a big metal fan, he's a metal collector,
Yeah.
He came up with so many ideas, It helps,
And
I remember back, when I was a big Motorhead fan, there was always a 3-piece band, like Venom or Motorhead or Tank in the beginning, And I remember I was a little bit disappointed when Tank or Motorhead get a second guitarist because they changed their music, in my opinion,
Yeah.
But no, it's not in Sodom, We always keep doing what we want,
Yeah, and it's a lovely combination of the two guitarists as well, because you've got Frank back after all these years, and you're on the younger guitarist as well. That must be a great combination.
Yes, I think so. I think Frank it's a cool guy, I think he's he has different style playing guitars, or writing songs, But it helps to get it more colorful, to get more ideas into the songwriting and all the stuff, It's cool, At York, he's really it's bringing fresh blood to the band, Also the new drummer,
Yeah.
He's a very young man, and it's my opinion the best drummer in Germany, I'm so glad to have this guy in the band, Now we are able to play more faster songs, or more more blast beats in it, whatever, we never think about what we're gonna do when we start writing songs, we just do it,
This sounds like a kind of not that you'd gone stale in any way, but this sounds like a real kind of sort of rebirth for you, a kind of almost like a second career.
I don't know. I'm gonna be 60 years old next year.
Well, you don't look it.
It's not my second career. I think I have a couple of years to do it. No, because we always have good albums out. And remember, the last album was Bernemann was a Decision Day, which was a great album.
Yeah.
And a lot of people told me, "You are dead. You cannot do a better album than this one." That's not true. We have so many ideas for writing songs. And now I think I see it on my tour plan. Now that after the Corona is gone, we have so many concerts on weekend shows. We are planning so many things for next year. Touring, playing everywhere in the world. Now the time is right, coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously the pandemic has sort of slowed that comeback, but by the sounds of it, it's kind of benefited you really, because it's given you that much longer to work on the new album.
Yes, that was the only positive, because we got more time for writing songs. We have so many shows. We lost a lot of money, I can tell you, but in the end, all the shows get postponed to next year, or tour was canceled. Nobody knows what's going on the next month or next years, So we had a lockdown in Germany that was forbidden to go to the rehearsal room and playing with the band. We never mind. We fucked them. We spent so many time for writing new songs. That was the only positive. When you are touring, you're coming back from a weekend show, you all the stuff is packed, you are tired, and it don't help for writing songs, But in this case, that was the only positive, that we spend more time together,
Yeah, and that's there's always a positive. You've got to find a positive, no matter how bad things are. There's always something good that can come out of it. In this case, it's a cracking new album. Like I say, I've only listened to it once, but I'll be going straight back to it. I can tell you that much. Yeah.
But what a shame, we canceled too many shows. All the other bands around me, or all the other artists, and nobody gonna really help us, And for a musician like me, making shows is the only chance to make money. You cannot make money if you're writing songs. Maybe later, if it's a good selling album, you get a little bit from record companies. We got offers for playing live shows during this Corona stuff. Playing without audience. Just doing a kind of YouTube show. Without any people in there. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
That is not my job. Or we get offers that was really funny. In Germany, it's called Autokino.
Oh.
You go to this. It's an open air cinema by car.
And everybody watches, and instead of applauding, they hit their horn and flash their headlights.
It's not. I said no way, because the sound is coming from a radio into the car, And the band is acting on stage, and there is no, and you see the lights coming up and down, and it's not what I want, I want to do a heavy metal show,
You can't do a gig.
We want to play live, we want to play in a smaller club. We need the contact to the fans,
Yeah.
Because when we're gonna play, it's not just the band playing, it's everything, it's the people out there, doing the show,
Yeah.
So we had to wait, but now it's going. We had so many shows after this, and I really, really enjoyed every minute on stage, That's what I want to do. That's my job,
I can't imagine being on stage and looking out at the front row and it just being cars parked. That's like that. That's not a show.
Yeah, it's amazing. Especially when I do smaller shows, smaller clubs,
Yeah.
And you get more contact, we are. What I can tell you, we are no rock stars, We are no. I know there is a lot of metal musicians doing the show, going up on stage, and going down, going to the car, going to the hotel, whatever, We always want to give the people something back, They're going to pay the price for everything,
Yeah.
We want to stay there for a while, if possible, doing a meet and greet or doing a signing session, having some beers together, And that is Sodom. We are no rock star. We are just metal fans making music for a while on stage,
Yeah.
And that is very important to say, that we always do the music for the fans, not for any record companies or publishers, whatever out there,
Yeah.
And so we enjoyed really every minute on them, Even if you're playing on a smaller clubs, like I remember we played in England in the Underworld. We played a couple of shows.
I was thinking of the Underworld.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It's completely different when you play in Wacken,
Yes.
On a big
yeah.
stage, and 80,000, maybe more people waiting for the headlining band,
Yeah.
But if we're going to play in a smaller club like the Underworld, people coming just to see a Sodom show,
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Especially if it's in the summer and there's sweat dripping from the ceiling and everybody's just going for it. It's fucking awesome. I love playing that place.
Oh, yes, I love it. So what we're going to plan coming back for UK, that's
good.
Doing maybe a small tour next year, whatever, and yes, the time is right. Also, we want to go to US America next year,
Yeah.
Because Sodom was not so often in US America. And we played last month. We played a Mexico Metal Fest, with a lot of American bands, American fans also. And they asked me, why you never come to US? Do you hate America, whatever? No, that is not the thing. We need a serious promoter who's going to help us over.
Yeah.
That is important. Especially when you go to America or England, maybe nowadays you are not more in the European Union, You need all the paperwork to do, the paper sheets, whatever you need, so visa stuff or working license, whatever,
Yeah.
And when we did the paperwork, we can go,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, I'm exactly the same.
We are sitting at home waiting for offers, and there we go. My bags are packed all the time.
No, we're exactly the same. I mean, we're touring South America in March, and we've had loads of offers from South America, but as I'm sure you're well aware, it's a tough place to play because there's a lot of promoters who are fake, and
I think,
so it's taken so long.
Promoter, I know. We need somebody who really do his job,
Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago we were supposed to play the Maryland Death Fest, It's a festival in US America.
Yeah.
And this guy said, we get no papers for you, You just come as tourists, We can't,
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't go, They know exactly, you're a band Sodom, what you going to do here, And if you work, you make money. And if you make money, you have to need some papers, That's,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think we work it out for next year, We have so many plans,
Yeah, it sounds like it, and the label are right behind you.
Yes, it's there was the label. Yeah, I think we are with SPV now from the beginning,
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. It's amazing. I was looking at that. It's incredible.
Yeah, we had a break for 3 or 4 years. We went to Gun Records or Drucker Records, coming back to SPV on 2001 with M16 album, And the next album will be the last option, So we will talk about what we're going to do if we find another record label. But I want to stay at SPV because they always did a great job, We are friends,
Yeah.
After all the decades,
Well, also, it's like better the devil you know, Someone tells you they're going to do everything for you, but you know what you're going to get with SPV.
Yes. We will know. You have to know that the complete back catalog from Sodom, is sold to BMG. It's another it's another international label,
Yeah.
And that's what we also talk about. We need a good contract, and we need a good deal for it, But I think with SPV, I'm really sure we get it, because we are planning the next album maybe next year or 24. I don't know. Time is running so fast. We'll see what happens, But we want to we get the next option for the next release with SPV, and then we'll look what we're gonna do.
Yeah. So when does it all start? When's it all kicking off?
Sorry.
When do the plans start? Or are you still putting tours together, or are you going to be announcing dates soon, or?
Oh, we got a lot of dates for next year. There are some planned. We get some. We talk about a South America tour also.
Yeah.
But what we're gonna do now in the beginning of next year, writing new songs. Because there's a January, February we have no shows, I think, and this will be a time where we spend together writing songs. We have a couple of songs together, for the next album, and I can tell you, the next Sodom album will be the happiest ever.
Right.
It's a promise. What I want to do, my dream is the next album is working in a more professional studio, maybe doing a kind of analog recording, like back in the 80s. We talk about a studio in Berlin. It's which is called Hansa Studio. It's a very big, a very famous one.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
My dream is get Harris Jones back.
Yes.
On a panel.
Yes, good old Harris. Yeah.
And he's still a good guy. He's still good mixing live shows. He's always in the music scene, recording scene. And maybe he gonna help us. For the songs. And we'll see what happens. But we are still working on new material, and when we get all the stuff together, we talk about booking a studio, and then we talk about release the album. That we have to check up with the record company.
Yeah, but it's the best way to use time when you're not on the road is working on new material.
I know that's very old school because we're gonna rehearse 2 or 3 times a week. I know other bands that never rehearse. Because maybe the drummer's living in America, the guitarist living in England, and they start writing songs by MP3 trading,
Yeah.
Which is not the same, I want to be together with a band, doing a jam session, drinking some beers, talking about everything, and try to write a new song,
Well, also, you never know what's going to happen in that situation. It's the spontaneity that isn't there in an MP3.
Yeah, you never know. If you come out of the rehearsal room, you get a new song or not, But it's the only way for me for writing better songs, Okay, when my guitarists have some ideas, I have a new guitar riff, he's going to send me, And I'm going to try to write some lyrics about it, or I try to arrange it. What is the chorus lines? What is the first lines? What is the pre-chorus? Whatever, But we have to go to the rehearsal room, putting everything together,
Yeah.
And that's the only way for me writing magical songs, better songs.
And when it comes to lyrics, are you because lyrics? I've always been a lyric writer, and I'm always fascinated by how other people's processes work. I'm a quite quick writer. I know friends of mine who spend weeks, months, and still aren't happy. How's it work? How does it work for you?
I don't know. I now have so many inspirations for writing songs the whole life, the whole shit what happened in the world,
Yeah.
It's inspired me, I don't know, sometimes I wake up in the night, I get some ideas for songs or for lyrics, and I go down, I write it down with a pencil, and sometimes in Germany, and then got it translated in English, But there is so much material I can write about. That's some people say the Sodom lyrics are too political. I think there is no politics in my lyrics. I just describe how bad the world is. But I know I cannot change anything. With my lyrics. But I can go up on stage and scream it out.
Yeah.
Stop the war, whatever, whatever I'm going to tell the people, And, but there is no political message in the songs,
Yeah.
Some people say, the band is more to the right. Some people say they're more to the left, we are not right, or we want to live in a better world, you know.
Yes.
We want to live in a peaceful and more democratic world, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's what I'm gonna write on, you know. I don't want to write a newspaper article. I have to write lyrics because I'm a songwriter, you know. I have to do it in a more lyrically way, you know, and it have to fit with the music, with the guitar riffs I get from York or from Frank, you know. But it's really funny to do, and I always have ideas, you know. I know what your friend said. Sometimes you start writing a song or lyrics over weeks, and you never get finished with it because you always change something, or you are not really satisfied with it, and you put it away, you know. I know that is sometimes a problem, but yes, I always have a lot of time, and I always have so many lyrics written down without any music, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it helps to have a lyrics without any music, and the guitar player try to arrange something on it, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing is, with when you're sometimes, again, I do the same. Sometimes I will hear a song and think that set of lyrics fits that song. Not like a pattern or anything like that, but it's like almost like the riffs sound like the words that I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean, you know. Yeah, but there is no special way to do it, you know. There is no blueprint, you know, how to write a song, you know, how to write lyrics, you know. I never found YouTube videos how to write lyrics, you know.
Yeah.
It's always coming from here, you know, and sometimes it makes no sense for some people, you know. But I always try to do the best lyrics ever, you know. I want to try good lyrics with a theme, you know. We're going to write about war all the time, you know, but it's not the big war. It's not so big politics behind the war, you know. It's a small war, the war of the small man fighting in a jungle, man against the other man, you know, his enemies, you know. It's like writing a script for a movie, you know, something like this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of which, I said the production was old school. And speaking of movies, there's kind of like a movie element to the artwork for the album, and it's very old school. I saw it and I was just like, oh my god, that is. That, if someone sees that, you just think, well, that's the cover of a thrash metal album. Do you know what I mean? It's like it couldn't be anything else.
Yes, it's all when it comes to the cover, you know. I always think, you know, I remember the latest release we worked together with Joe Petagno, you know, which is a Motorhead founder. You know, he was the one who created the Motorhead's cover. You know, the Snaggletooth, the Warpig, the Warhead, whatever it's called. You know, and I don't have any idea for a cover. You know, and he said, okay, no, don't worry, send me some lyrics, and if you recorded some new songs, send me. You know. And he get really big, he get into the material, you know. And I remember I get an email, I'm finished. The cover is ready, it's finished. And I don't know what it was, you know, the latest one. And I get a PDF file on my computer, which is 500 megabyte, whatever, you know. It's coming down very slowly. Here it is. This is the new Sodom cover, you know. And I was surprised, and I was really... The cover was amazing, you know. That was really the best Sodom cover ever, you know. Yeah. But what is the best Sodom cover? There is you always have the Knarrenheinz on the cover, you know.
Yeah.
So we are a little bit limited making a cover, you know, even on a new one, you know. And it was Adrian Canto who did the latest cover for our 40 years box, you know. And I talked to him. He's a good friend of mine, you know. We need a cover in the next 2 weeks. You know, okay, we don't have any time for discussing what to do, you know. And he came up with the idea of putting the X-Men, you know, and the Knarrenheinz being together on one cover, you know, fighting, you know.
Yeah.
And there is the result. Everybody knows it. I like it. It's really old school, you know.
Yeah.
And it fits perfect to. This reflects really the 40 years we did, you know.
Yeah, and was there at any point during that where you kind of realize what you're doing. I did a 30-year anniversary something recently, and whilst I was going through the process, it all starts kind of hitting you really that you know how long ago it was and everything that's happened in between, and can I believe I'm where I am.
Yeah, I should tell you the first idea was for the 40 years anniversary. I want to do a live record. I know Sodom fans waiting for a live album. But what we told before, we got no chance recording shows. We couldn't find proper shows recording something. And remember we had a sampler called 10 Black Years in '95. It was just putting together a sampler with existing material. That is not what I want.
Yeah. And
my idea was choosing one song from each album and re-record it with with the current lineup. And the record companies with Oli Hahn, it's a great idea. You have 1 year time recording all the stuff, and then we start listening to all these Sodom albums, and that was really hard to decide which song we want to take. We don't want to take the classics or the hit singles from each album, like Agent Orange from Agent Orange, whatever,
Yeah.
And then we realized we have so many good songs on each album, It was really hard to decide,
Yeah.
And so we listened to all the albums, especially if you go to the first ones, Obsessed by Cruelty, In the Sound of Evil, Our drummer said, okay, Chris Witch Hunter, what do you want to play there, And he tried to keep the typical Witch Hunter drumming, but playing more accurate,
Yeah.
And a couple of songs were completely out of timing and out of tuning,
Yeah.
That's what we tune our guitars and our bass guitars for the recording, But we don't change anything. That was important to me. We don't want to change the arrangement, the music. We don't want to change the lyrics, We take it one by one. But keep the spirit of the original ones, I know a lot of people told me when I listen to Obsessed by Cruelty, I want to listen to original album, I understand what they mean,
Sure.
When I want to listen to Mordred's Ace of Spades, I listen to the original one, Yeah, but this sample just reflects what we did over the 40 years, and people like that we choose songs that are maybe underrated, There are a couple of songs we never played in the studio, in a rehearsal room, or a live show. But in the end, it helps us choosing for the next set list, We want to put a lot from these songs into the upcoming set list, I don't want to play the same set list over years, That is not what I want to do,
Sure. So will you mix the set list up as you go as well? Take, add songs, take songs off, mix it around.
We took a couple of classics. We want to change it from show to show,
Yeah. Well, the good thing about that as well is, sometimes set lists get leaked. Well, they always get leaked online. But if you've got a moving set list, it keeps people, on their toes.
Yes. Especially when we're going to play a headlining show with 2 hours running time,
Wow.
Maybe more sometimes, We are able to choose, when we're going to play on a bigger festival with just 45 minutes running time, What can you do? These are 10 songs, maybe 12, You have to put the classics in it, And you also want to promote the latest albums,
Yeah.
It's always hard to decide, But when we're doing a headlining show, we are able to change every night,
Yeah, and that's great because people come to multiple shows as well, so they're getting a different show every night.
I saw when we talk about Mordred, the latest Mordred shows over the years, they always got the same set list,
Yeah.
They never really changed, or even Slayer never really changed, But that is the thing, we are always in contact with the fans, and we talk about which song you like, listen to the next shows, and there come songs, you never played songs from Epitome of Torture, you never played songs from M16 or Code Red, whatever, you know. And after we listened to all the songs from each album, you know, we came up with the idea for doing this song is a good for the set list, you know. So when we tried to rehearse it, you know, there are a couple of songs who don't work live. I don't know why, you know, because we recorded more guitars in the studios and the atmosphere is not there, you know, but there are the most songs we are able to play live.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes it's a song that you think is going to really go over well live, and at some point it's almost like somebody in the band at some point has to dare say it and go, I don't quite think this is, and then everybody else goes, yeah, you're right.
Yes, I remember we played in Bergen, Norway, a couple of months ago, and we played the song Equinox, which is a song from the Obsessed by Cruelty album. Eh? All the people getting crazy about this very old song, you know. You know, here we go, you know, it works, you know.
Yeah.
If you perform it and if you are able to play it live, you know, with two guitarists, it's easier, you know. A couple of songs. With just one guitarist, you cannot play every song, you know, because even my bass guitar cannot replace a second guitar, you know.
Yeah.
But nowadays we are able to perform, to do everything we want, you know.
That's awesome. So so there's effectively stuff you can play live now that you've just never been able to play.
Sorry?
So there's effectively stuff you can play live now that you've never been able to play.
Yes. That is the thing. You know, now we are, I think, even the musicians have to get more interested in the older material, you know. I think Bernemann was a guy who was really interested in listening to Obsessed by Cruelty stuff, you know. I know what you mean, you know, but if you are playing in a band, you know, you also represent the band's history, you know.
Yes, yeah.
That is important. And our guitarist York or the drummer Tony are big Sodom fans, you know. He came up with the album Code Red, you know. Code Red is his favorite album, you know, and there are so many songs on it, you know. All right, let's do this one. We played a couple of songs from Code Red, you know, but there are couple of songs missed, you know. So we're gonna do it now, you know. So that is a second chance for me nowadays. What we talked before, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That must be great fun as well, going back and rediscovering some of those songs.
Yes, and that is what we're gonna do the next times. You know, we don't want to leave our fans disappointed. You know that Sodom was boring. You know, they're always gonna play the same shit. You know, all right, there is no show without Bombenhagel. You know, I know, or Agent Orange, stuff like this. You know, we have to do. People are waiting for. You know. I never seen a Motorhead show without Ace of Spades, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if you have 2 hours running time, you can do 25 songs, you know. You are able to do it, you know.
Yeah, and go into the really deep cuts. Nice. So, I mean, I know I said earlier that it's it seems like a second kind of career, but it's not often that. I speak to somebody who is as deep into their career as you, but is as enthusiastic as you clearly are. I mean, as we're sat here talking, you know, you're clearly just absolutely loving this.
Yeah, you know, that's my life. You know, I think Sodom now, after all the years and decades, you know, it's the biggest part of my life. You know.
Yeah. And
I really enjoy it. You know, I hate the traveling around, you know. I hate airplanes, you know. I hate hotels and airports, you know.
Well, that's got to suck.
But being on stage, you know, the 1 hour or 2 hours, it doesn't matter. That really helps me. That is like a therapy to me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even in my age, you know, I'm going to 60 years old next in February, you know. And, some people ask me, when do you want to retire, you know, when you stop doing the music, you know. I don't know, you know. That's, I'm still love this kind of music, you know. I'm healthy and I'm creative, you know. That is important.
Yeah. I think this kind of music, the music retires you. You don't retire from the music.
Maybe, you know, but I know someday the party's over, you know. That what I respect so much what Tom Araya did, you know. He said, okay, this is my last show,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And after this, the last song, I go home forever, you know.
Yeah.
It's a perfect way, you know. And I know that he talked to in some interviews. He's touring all the time, you know. He never sees kids growing up, you know. He never sees friends at home, you know. It's the same like me, you know. I don't want to tour so much, you know. And but also I don't want to find an end like Lemmy on a stage, you know.
Yeah.
Being so sick or being with cancer, whatever, you know, so many problems and doing a show, you know. I can't, you know. I don't want to die on stage.
Yeah, no.
I want to die in bed, you know, like it's usual.
Yes.
So I know that the time will come, you know, and the older I get, the closer coming the time where I have to stop, you know, but not nowadays, you know.
No.
We want to do some albums, you know. We want to do our shows, you know. We want to be in the scene, you know. But I know the day will come, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it also physically you'll know. I mean, that was Tom Araya, wasn't it? It was the physical part of it that was just.
Yeah, he got physical problems, you know. His problem with the neck.
Yeah. Like
me, you know. But Tom Araya couldn't bang anymore, you know. He couldn't turn his head around, whatever, you know. He got a lot of massive problems, you know.
Yeah, I remember reading an article where he said that it wasn't as much fun anymore to do what he did.
Gone. Then it's over. You know?
Yeah.
If I need in the medicine to go on stage, you know, or some painkillers before I go on stage, I can go. I don't go, you know. I know that. And if you're a musician in my age, you know, I don't have any problem. I have problems with my ears. I have a tinnitus.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Same in English, I don't know.
Yeah, same in English,
And I talked to my doctor, and he said, as long as you're going to do this music, especially on a stage, you know, the monitoring is very loud, you know, it don't get better, you know. You have to stop doing the music, and maybe you get a chance to tinnitus coming more down over the years, next years, you know. But I said I can't stop doing the music just because I have tinnitus, you know. That is not enough to stop.
Well, also, not that I'm a doctor, but tinnitus is like, they know so little about it and how it's caused and how to treat it. It's a real affliction for some musicians.
No, my doctor is a drummer in a heavy metal band, you know.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, he's playing in a band called heaped.com.
Oh, really?
It's a German metal hardcore band, you know. He knows exactly what I'm talking about when I go to him, you know. But he said, okay, if you're doing this, you know, you get the results later, you know.
Yeah, true. Well, you know, that's it. But it's a price worth paying, I guess.
Yes, that's a price you pay. You know, I smoke too much cigarettes, you know, but I don't drink anymore. I don't drink so much, you know. I stopped drinking at home, you know.
That's a big one. That helps.
I don't go to the bars on the weekend, you know. You know, when we have a show, after the show, we get some beers. I put my Jack Daniels, you know, after a good show, be together with the band, you know. But I never drink at home, you know. I never drink outside, whatever, you know. That's good.
Yeah. It's you know, there comes a point where you just have to do less because you want to keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, I know when I never, you know, I was alcoholic years before, you know, decades before, you know. But if you're getting older, you're getting so much in alcohol, you know, abuse, whatever, you know, you can't do the job, you know. I know that some musicians get drunk on stage before they go up on stage, you know. I can't, you
know. No.
I forget my lyrics. I forgot my guitarist, you know.
Well, I think
you can't do it because the people, they pay the price, you know. They want to see the show. They want to see you sober and doing your job, you know.
Yeah. It's disrespectful, and as you said, it's disrespectful to the audience members and doing your job. Well, you can't go to work pissed. You know, you can't go to work pissed. You get sacked. You know, you can't go to work drunk.
Yeah, and we're going to play live, you know.
yeah, exactly.
I know that a lot of metal bands don't play live anymore, you know. Heard some rumors, you know, some
Pro Tools.
Some singers, some vocals coming from the computer, whatever, you know, or the guitars, whatever, you know. That is what I don't want to do, you know. And if I'm able to perform and doing my vocals, you know, I will do it, you know. I've been a little bit cold, you know, but I still have the vocals doing a show, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do any playback shows, whatever, you know, with the vocals coming from the computer. No way.
I can't ever imagine Sodom using Pro Tools to thicken out the sound somehow.
No. I know there are bands they do, you know.
We both know.
They want to make a perfect show, you know. But heavy metal don't have to be perfect, you know. You cannot be perfect every night, you know, on every day on the stage, you know. That's always different, you know. The vocals are always different from show to show, you know.
Oh yeah,
and
tell me about it.
It don't have to be perfect, you know. That's punk music, it's metal music, you know. We know where we're coming from, you know. We are metal fans making music, you know. It never has to be perfect, you know.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, man. Look, Tom, I've really, really enjoyed that, man. It's been a pleasure speaking to you and seeing you this time as well. It's great because I didn't get to see you last time. But look, when you come over, I live in London. I live in London, the Underworld. I will see you there.
There's a festival, Dominion Festival.
Dominion
Festival.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna play there. Yeah.
If I get to that, I will see you there. But if not, I will see you next time you're at the London Underworld. I will come up and introduce myself.
Yes, I want to come back to Underworld. We really love it.
Oh, me too.
We really love it.
Me too. We're playing there. Yeah. We're playing there in February, so I'm excited for that.
All right, my friend.
All right, you take care.
Take care and see you soon.
And that was the lovely Tom Angelripper. Top man. Really great chat, and I mean, I really do love chatting with the old school guys as well, who've been doing it for so long. And funnily enough, you know, some people don't really want to venture or talk about retirement, about what lies ahead. But Tom there is really, really honest, and more than happy to talk about it. The elephant in the room of not getting any younger, and I mean I'm 52, and I've got to admit, starting to feel it a bit. There's a lot needs to be done to stay fit. Put it that way. And speaking of which, I mentioned it in passing up top, but it really has been massive. My mother getting the all clear, as I'm sure anybody listening knows when a close relative gets the all clear after cancer. And if some of you listening, it didn't work out that way, then my heart breaks for you. It really does, especially this time of year, which is a tough one. All I can say is, and I'm not one for overt statements of sentimentality or anything else, but seriously, get everybody close, give them big hugs. You never know when they're not going to be around. Look after it. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Have a happy holiday season. And I will see you in 2023. Yeah, that's right. And no, you're not getting a podcast on fucking New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Okay? I got things to do. But there will be something. There'll be some little bits and pieces coming out over Christmas to try and keep you amused, okay? But seriously, hug everybody, look after each other, be well, and come and see Acid Rain. Oh, God. Come and see Acid Rain on tour. Just announced dates for February and April, and there will be more to come. So get stuck in and track those dates down, buy some tickets, come say hello. And, of course, shout bollocks before we come on. And someone else shout bollocks back. We're going old school. Anywho, it's been fun. Take care of each other. Been a pleasure. Never a chore. Next year, it's going to be fucking 8 years since I started this podcast. How time has flown. Thank you, one and all. Till next time.